What's up, students? My name is Seth with SethPerler.com. I'm an executive function coach, and I help struggling students navigate this thing called school. And in this video, I'm talking to students who are going into college or who are in college. I'm going to tell you 3 reasons I failed out of college. And I'm telling you this because I do not want you to fail out of college. I want you to do what's right for you and have a fantastic life. And failing out of college is not a necessary step in life. First thing I want to tell you is that when I work with college students, most of the college students that I work with are sophomores or second-year college students. Why do you think that is? It's because they failed the first year, or they more or less failed the first year. So they didn't make it to be a sophomore and they are a second-year freshman, or they are a sophomore and they barely got to be a sophomore. And they struggled a lot and they're finally ready for help. Asking for help is a very hard thing to do. So anyhow, why did I fail out of college? So I failed out of college, went to Ball State University, and I failed so I went to summer school on probation to start because I almost failed out of high school. I didn't fail out of high school. I skated by. And then I wanted to go to college really because I wanted to get away from my parents. And I went to college on probation in summer school. So I didn't even have a summer break after my senior year of high school. I didn't even have a summer break. Went straight to college on probation. I had to take 3 probationary classes. When I was in trouble, I often did well. So I was in trouble because I was on probation to start college. So I did well. I got an A and 2 C's. True story. One of the classes that I got an A in, the class I got an A in, was a study skills class. True story. I got an A in study skills and 2 C's, and now I could go in the fall. So I go fall semester, failed. I go spring semester, failed. After spring semester is over, I get a letter in the mail that says, Seth, do not come back. You failed out of Ball State University. Thanks for your money. Good luck. So I went to another college and I dropped out before I failed out. That college was on quarters. I went fall quarter, winter quarter, didn't go spring quarter because I dropped out because I had failed those 2 quarters before. How did I do it? Here are the 3 steps of how I did it. Number 1, I didn't go for me. I went because I was told all my life I was supposed to go to college. I didn't know there were other alternatives. I just thought that's what you do. There's no buy-in or ownership that I wanted to go for me, to learn, to get an education, to better myself, to develop who I was, to get exposed to lots of new educational ideas, to get exposed to lots of new people and new ways of looking at the world, to have a great experience, to build a career. I didn't have any of that. I went because I thought that's what you were supposed to do, and I didn't want to live at home anymore. I wanted to move out of my house and be independent and be on my own, even though I was not capable of being independent. I did not have the executive function skills necessary to be an adult or to be on my own or to be independent. But I thought I did, and I wanted to get away from my parents. They were bugging me, or at least that's how I perceived it. I regret the way that I was very hard on my parents, and I have a fantastic relationship with them now, but I was not the easiest child. So anyhow, number 1 way that I failed out of college is by not going for myself, not going because I really wanted to go for good reasons. Number 2, the way that I failed out of college was by not having the executive function skills to navigate college. I was emotionally dysregulated, meaning I was depressed, I was anxious, I was uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable with who I was. I was not confident in who I was. I lived with a lot of fear that I wasn't good enough in multiple ways. So I didn't have the executive function, what's called emotional regulation, like ways to work with my own fears and emotions and discomfort and stuff like that. Part of my dysregulation had to do with I was eating horrible food. I was not eating food that was nourishing my body. I was on a diet of processed foods. Doritos and pop and whatever. I was not sleeping well. I was up late. I was up all night. It was just horrible sleep. I didn't prioritize myself well. I didn't exercise hardly. I mean, I never did like real exercise at that time. So, and I didn't have just other executive function skills like planning and organizing and knowing how to study and knowing how to prioritize and knowing how to do all of these executive function things. The third thing, so number one was I didn't go for myself, went for my parents because I thought I was supposed to. Number two was I didn't have the executive function skills I needed. Number three was I didn't know how to ask for help. You may think that that sounds silly. Let me tell you, it's one of the most important things I've ever learned my entire life is how to ask for help. I didn't know how to ask my teachers for help, didn't know how to ask my parents for help, didn't know how to ask tutors for help, didn't know how to ask coaches for help, didn't know how to ask other students for help, didn't know how to ask anybody for help. I did not have humility. I had such a big ego. I could not show you that I had any weaknesses. Therefore, I could never ask you for help and admit that I didn't have it figured out. So I thought that that would mean that there was something wrong with me. I thought that that would mean if I asked for help that I'm admitting that I'm broken and that I don't want you to see that. That would terrify me. So there's a quote by Zig Ziglar. There's no elevator to success. You got to climb the stairs. And I wanted the elevator to success. I wanted to go up. I wanted a quick fix. I wanted everything to be easy. I did not want to climb the stairs to success. I didn't want to put in the work. I didn't want to ask for help. I didn't want to build the executive function skills. And I wasn't doing it for me. So that, my friends, is how I failed out of college. I hope you, high schoolers or college students, don't ever go through what I went through. College isn't right for everyone, and it's not right for everyone at the time when society expects it to be right for you. You got to do what's right for you when it's right for you, when you have the schools, when you have the motivation, when you have the buy-in, when you have the ownership. You have to know how to ask for help and know that there's nothing wrong with you. In fact, asking for help is a sign of maturity, is what real adults do. It's what we all need to do. We all need help. Nobody does it alone. No successful people do it alone. We all need each other. So, my name is Seth, SethPerler.com, an executive function coach in Colorado. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you have a fantastic life, and I hope this video helped you. If it did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up or a comment or a like or share it with somebody or something like that. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.